Hello, my journaling friend. Guess what? I'm taking my own advice today. My number one tip for journaling consistency is pre-decorate your pages. Well, throughout the holidays, I've been journaling my little heart out and I've run out of places to journal. So in today's video, I'm going to make about a week's worth of journaling space. And as always, I am going to share ways that I use journaling as a space to express my faith. So today's spread, I'm gonna try some new stuff, and I'm no expert. It's gonna be wintry, snowy, that whole kind of cozy vibe. And I'm gonna try some new things that I haven't tried before. Fingers crossed that it works out. But as in all my videos, all the oops will be shown. I don't edit out when I mess up because life is messy and you gotta journal anyway. Okay, let's do this. First, I want to show you, it came in a multi-pack on Amazon. These little clear, it said that they're for shaker cards. Now, I am not a card maker. I've never made a shaker card, so I'm not exactly sure how these work for them. But what I was looking for is something that I could make a window with. So I pulled one of these out. They come in, the multi-pack comes in various sizes. And I want to use it to make a window where there's like a snowy scene on the backside. And I'm gonna use Planny Things Snow Days. And as part of the subscription, it usually comes with some cardstock, like scrap paper card. And I'm gonna cut this scene out because I think it's cute. There's also a sticker in the sticker book of the very same scene, but it just didn't seem big enough for what I wanted to do. So, and then, let me move this. Wintertime by Aesthetic Plans. These I used in my earth tone Christmas spread. Loved it. It was this green and brown, but also in here, I marked it, were just some wintertime florals. So I'm gonna leave these sitting out. Hopefully I'll remember to use them. I always pull out multiple things and then I don't end up using all of them. And then I have a collection of washi that could potentially work. So I have made a window before, but it wasn't with like any actual windowy material. I've just cut, cut a square. Let me set this somewhere. I've got a mess going in here. So yeah, this morning was my last morning to journal, but I had a place to journal. I did this Happy New Year. Don't look at it now because I'm gonna do a flip through. But this is my Happy New Year page. And I turned it, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have any journaling pages prepared. I need to put my money where my mouth is and do what I always say is the most important thing about staying consistent in your journal. So here I am. So what I'm thinking is, okay, there's that page. I'm gonna put a little clip in there to hold that down. Make sure my little bookmarks are tucked away because I don't wanna cut them. And okay, so what I'm thinking is, it's not gonna be a whole bunch of pages. I'm gonna use this to put the window in and put this picture on the back side. And then when that window is open on this side, there will be some of these. There were some other indoor cozy, see these, like a fireplace and a chair. I can like build a scene over here. That's what I'm planning to do. So the first thing that I need to do is cut this picture out to where it's gonna fit behind this. And in order to do that, I got out my little small paper cutter, but I think the first thing I need to do is just trace around this picture. It's gonna go there. I love it when it comes time to do these like more intricate things. I love it for like one go round, and then I'm usually ready to go back to something a little bit easier. Oh, this isn't gonna fit in there. Let me give this a little trim. Maybe I'll just cut it. I'm good for an elaborate spread about every 4th or 5th time. Other than that, it's gonna be waterfall tabs and Dutch doors. And I'm okay with that. See, the back side of this is printed too. I'm gonna save that in case there's something I wanna do with it. I'm gonna save it for today. I'm not gonna save it for forever, because that kind of stuff creeps up on me. Okay, so if that is basically that size, I probably need to go smaller. But before I do that, how am I gonna do this? Actually, this page needs to be smaller so that, no it doesn't. Wonder if I should make the window part first. Okay, I got that in the general idea. I'm generally cool with that. So which page am I flipping? Ooh, I almost put it on the wrong page. Okay. And I think I want to switch to pencil. Because look, I just boogered that up. There's ink on this. To give myself an idea. Okay, but when I flip it open, I want to have some washi there, so I need to scooch. I know I'm not going to have very much. This is basically, I wonder if I should make that smaller. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to just try this first and then fine tune it for the next time I decide I get a wild hair and want to do this. But for now, I'm going to want it like that. On that line, that line. Oops, I wasn't very straight. And that line. Okay. And so if I do that, I feel like that window is way too big. You know what I'm going to do? Oops. Fling it off the table. Ooh. I'm gonna make this window smaller. I should use my paper cutter for that, shouldn't I? How much smaller? I don't know. I'm arbitrarily zipping some of this off and I'll figure it out later. I got a whole pack of these things anyway. I think all of these, I'm gonna say there was like 100 and something pieces and it was like $9. Maybe I'm gonna have to learn how to make a shaker card. Ooh, I should leave it right. Because the tape, it's gonna be taped down. It has a little fold and I wanna cut that right there, okay. Okay, now I have reconvened with myself and we're gonna do this again. I feel like that's a little bit more appropriate. And so, see, on a normal, if I wasn't gonna put any plastic on here, on a normal thing, I would just use my washi tape and lay it down in a window fashion and then cut the inside of it. But I can't do that because I want this clear piece in there. And so if I'm gonna put this clear piece in there, then that means I need to cut the window a little bit in so that it has something to stick to. Right? Am I right? I think I'm right. So let's do this. So that means I want to cut on the one row in from the line that I made. And I do believe I have a straight edge. I do, right here. And I think I'll just use, you can see I didn't make that line straight. So I'm gonna skip a dot. I'm gonna go right there. Oops. And I'm not gonna go all the way down. And then I'm gonna cut. Again, I'm leaving a one grid margin basically. I hope I figured that right. I think I did. Get that in the corner. the last time I made like a real elaborate spread, it was something that I had visualized in my head, and I mean, it was fine. It turned out fine. It's never like for me, it's never as wonderful as I envisioned. But I have to try it. Like, you have to, if you see something in your mind's eye, give it a go. Don't be afraid you're going to mess up your journal. It's just paper, sister. It's paper. And if it turns out janky, then just flip the page. And especially when you have these beautiful journals, like this one's from Archer and Olive. I know you're kind of apprehensive, like, I don't want to mess it up. But you know what messes it up? Is if it stays blank and white and closed up on your shelf. That's what messes it up. That's not what a journal's meant for. So, if you're new here, hello, my name is Liz. Lizzie B. Elizabeth. When I was a kid, people shortened it to Lizzie B. Thanks for stopping by. I like to use journaling as a place to express my faith. I use it for prayer journaling, devotional writing, scripture writing, scripture memory, and also just plain old memories. You know what? I must have cut a page out of this journal. I think I did. I can't remember when I did that though. So if you like all things journaling, and I also do memory keeping in a journal. But anyway, if you like all things journaling, go ahead and subscribe. Come along. My stuff ends up being, it looks homemade because it is homemade. I am not an expert. I have not been paper crafting for very long at all. Probably a year. Actually, you know when it really started? I think I've said this on another video. So if you've already heard this, I'm sorry that I'm repeating myself. But I'm also almost 51 years old and I have menopause mind. So I don't know when I'm repeating myself. Okay, so now this is on there. I'll finish that story in a minute. So, I mean, I feel good about that. So what I'm gonna do is use some washi. I wonder if I should use a wood grain. Would that make it look more like a window? But what I'm gonna do is use some of the snowflakes in here. They're gray to come down. Beep, beep, beep. So, I wonder if it should like contrast. I like that one. No, I'm just gonna stick with what I had in my hand. First intuition is always the best, right? No, it's not, but it is in this case. Anyway, I started really getting into creative journaling nearly a year ago. Well, maybe it was a year ago, but it really took off in February of last year because you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put a little bit of glue on that because I don't trust myself. I have a glue runner. Maybe I'll just try that. The thing I don't like about the glue runner is look how wide that is. I don't think I have that kind of, I'm not doing that. I bet you'd like for me to finish my story, wouldn't you? Well, let me find my Barely Art glue thing and I'll finish my story. Somebody came in here and cleaned up my studio all willy-nilly, just throwing stuff. It was me. I did that. I can't find my glue. Well, I guess I'm gonna use the glue runner. If somebody was prepared, they would get all their supplies together before they started videoing. I don't even know why. I'm just gonna put a dab. Dadgummit. Okay. I don't even know if I got it. I just want it to be held in place a little bit because I know when I start jacking with this tape that it's gonna get all slidey. So anyway, in February of last year, my husband fell and broke his leg badly and he broke his leg on February 12th and then he didn't have surgery until Valentine's Day. It was very romantic of him, wasn't it? But after that, he couldn't put any weight on his leg for, I think it was 12 weeks we did. It was a long time, I'll tell you that. It was a long time. And so I just set up a little folding table in the living room and put all my doodads on there. And I went to town making a creative journal. And my planner, you know, the memory keeping part of my planner, which I don't really share that on here. I share that with our community, the community members, my page members, because it's a little bit more private. So I don't know, if you're interested in like monthly flip throughs of my planner and memory keeping stuff, there will be a link at the end of the video where you can join the community. It's $7 a month. And, or you can also join right up on that button that says subscribe. There should be a join button like right there next to it. So anyway, that's when I started doing this. Okay, how did this part up here, there's plasticky behind there. So I do not want to push real hard to cut these corners. I can get my little tweezers. I love these tweezers from Archer and Olive. And I mean, I love them. But I hope you don't love them because I don't think they're available anymore. That's all I know. Maybe they'll come back out with them because I've got to be a favorite of people. You know? Let's see if I got that one. I'm just gonna leave that. I don't want to mess with that. I don't want to mess with that. Okay. Oops. So I just set a little card table up and started messing with journaling, and I loved it. I just fell in love with it. I had always kept a devotional journal, but I'd never really made it pretty. It was just a notebook. And so I decided that I'm not messing with that either. So I just decided, you know what? I'm going to use this creative journal as my devotional journal. Because a lot of times, and I know that you have said to me, one of you has said to me that you felt guilty spending time playing with your stickers and everything and markers and all, because you're like, oh, I should be in the Word. I shouldn't be playing with my stickers. And I have felt that too. And, but in reality, everything we do is supposed to be for God's glory, right? And so when we continue to make these separations in our mind, like, oh, this is sacred and this is secular, I don't think that that's the way that we're supposed to be. And so if you're playing with your stickers and washi, look at that window. Are you not impressed? I am so impressed it turned out so good. I need to do the back side. And then I need to do, okay, I'm going to do the back side first. I do suffer from a little bit of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. I mean, I even got the diagnosis, sister. I did. And in my 30s, I tried the medicines. I did. But I was taking medicines for other mental health issues too. And I just felt like, good grief, I'm taking so many drugs. And so in March of 2015 was the last time I took any medicines for any of my mental health issues. And I'm not advocating that for you. I am not. You take whatever you take. But for me, I was struggling with all of the massive side effects. And also realizing that I was really relying on those drugs and I was not walking and keeping a tight, abiding relationship with the Lord. And so that was the day for me, March 8th, 2015. That was the last day I had any drugs. It's on my calendar, drug-free, all that stuff. I give myself a little high five every year on March 8th. Also, that's one of my good friend's birthday too. But I don't know why I just told you that, except for just so you know, I struggle with an attention situation. And if you are in our community and you've ever attended one of our lives, which we've only done 2, we got another one coming up next Thursday, you'll know that I'm all over the place. And so I do that when I'm making these spreads too. I kind of hop around. I'm like, oh wait, I gotta go back and finish that. But I also think having a project like this is good for training you to pay attention, stay focused. Okay. All right, so I like that. So I'll end up I'll trim this a little bit better, but that'll be there, and that's so cute. And then over here, I haven't decided yet, but it'll be something like a little fireplace and a sleeping kitten or something like that over here on this side. We'll build a little scene in there, and that'll look cute. Okay, but for now, did you see, let's see, let's pull out those snowflakes that I loved. Oh, there's trees too. I used those trees under there. You know what, I'm gonna tear this whole page out because I don't want to fuss with this book the whole time. I should have tore that other sheet out that already had some missing, but let's see if I go like that and then like that. I think I'm gonna make it go. I'm gonna put it on there. I didn't want to have to cut, and that would be a flimsy flap. Ain't nobody got time for a flimsy flap. So I'm just gonna do these snowflakes like they're sort of falling down. So I don't want it to be so big, little, big, little, big, little. That seems a little bit too planned for me. And then get one up there that's sort of coming off the page a little bit. See, I'll trim that and use that one down here. I think it's coming together, don't you? Oh, wait. Yeah, I'm just gonna go like that. That's fine, whatever. Okay. Now let's get out the handy dandy gyro cut. Santa did not bring me a gyro cut pro for Christmas, so I'm still using my OG gyro cut. If you're new here, this is a cutting tool. It's got a little swivelly head like this, and it's to help you make curvy cuts. And what you want to do is put the tallest tip down at the top of your page and pull as you're cutting. Don't be trying to go sideways with it. And you just hold it like it's a pencil. Okay, here we go. Here we go. And it takes a little bit of practice, but not terribly. I mean, gosh, if I can do it, anybody can do it, because I am the least mechanical person that you have ever met. If I want to figure out a way to get my husband to do something for me, like assemble it or fix something, all I gotta do is get out the tools. I just get them out. And he looks at me, he's like, well, what are you doing? And he gets up and starts. He cannot stand for me to do things like that. And it's because I usually hurt myself or make matters worse. but also because he just loves to do that. He's the handy one. He's like, that's my job. I want to do that, which is good. You know what he did over Christmas break? I mean, I guess theoretically we're still on Christmas break here, but he built another washi tape rack for me because, well, that one was pretty full. Lucky. I can't believe it worked. Okay, let's do the back of it before we move on. Let's do the back. And I gotta put this behind there because I can't really see the shapes very well. Okay, that one's pretty funny. I feel like any of these are gonna work. I mean, a snowflake is a snowflake, right? Ooh, I spoke too soon. Which one did I do there? This one. I'll put that little beauty right there. Anyway, he built an additional washi tape storage rack, and I'm very pleased with it. Okay. Which one was this one? None of them. Well, maybe it'll work down here. You know what? I think I'm just gonna go for it. Do you think I should? Or do you think I should find the exact one that matches? Well, that is isn't that the exact? That's not the exact one. That's over here on this sheet. Here it is. I'm not going to be that way. I'm just going to put them down. Hope that doesn't trigger anyone's OCD. But it's my journal, so it can be raggedy if I want it to be. I'm gonna do that one like that and then trim. We're getting ready to have a major cold spell here in Oklahoma, like a major, the wind kicked in today. We went out and went to the gym and it was beautiful, and we came out and it was frigid. So I came home and brewed myself another cup of coffee, which, let me show you. Oh, I don't know if I can show it to you in this. Oh, you can't. It's the Dolly Parton Stampede mug. My son got it for me when he was there. He and his wife went with this group that they volunteer for, and it's called Make Promises Happen. And it's a camp, giving a camp experience to people with all levels of abilities. And so they also take those campers on periodic trips. And they all went to Branson back in the fall. They're all going on a cruise for spring break too. Living your best life. But they match each of the counselors up with one camper that they're responsible for. And the campers are all at least 18 years old. And so anyway, when I found out that he was going to Dolly Stampede, I was like, I wouldn't say no to a coffee mug for Christmas. And he was like, oh, that's easy. Okay. All right, so there, I've got the flap done. Oh, let me scooch over. I just realized that I wasn't in frame, sorry. There, I got the flap done. So now I want to put the picture behind there. But like I said, I think I need to trim it down. I mean, I know I need to trim it down. And I don't want it to be just like a piece of paper sitting there. So I might trim it as a window too. Do you think I should? I don't know. Okay, first let me just mark where the absolute hard edge is. And then here it looks like it's gonna be. I'm gonna end up Oh, I don't have to cut that because it can go over, but I do need to cut this side. Yeah, that's the side I need to cut. Okay. Can I just make a line on that? I can't even see. Okay, where do I want it? This has got a little bit of metallic so I can see it better. Yeah, there. Line this little butte up. There it is. Flush? Yeah. Okay. And remember when I made the line before, you can see that a little bit. I'm going to trim that off too, just so it doesn't look quite so, you know. Is there any other ink showing? Yeah, there's a little bit of ink showing right there. I'm going to trim that. Alrighty then. See, I feel like that looks cute. I'll do some fun washi there. I might need to get some wider washi. Wide, not white. But first, I wanna round these corners. I have to turn my corner rounder over so I can see when the stuff's in there. Otherwise, I don't know, I just don't have any consistent cuts. I don't know why. Again, maybe because I'm not very mechanical. Okay, so if that's gonna be there like that, let's see what other, what I could do for, let me think for a second. Oh, that's what I was gonna do, remember? Oh, I was gonna use these florals as the edge there. So, okay. In these florals, they had some that were shorter, which is great if you're doing this size. Well, actually, it would be small for that too. It would go across the top really nicely. But this is the bigger journal. And so sometimes it's a little, see, this edge piece would, I think, yeah, it would work perfectly if I were in a small journal. But I isn't in a small journal. I'm in a big journal. So I'll probably have to go there, you know, like piece it together. So which one do I like? Well, that would be too big. It would cut into my picture here. Right. Okay. Look, these have like pearls. That's supposed to probably be across the top, hanging down. Wouldn't you think? I do think so. There's even pre-made boxes in these that I can use for the journaling space. That's kind of nifty. Oh, and these textured ones too. Huh. Do you think that would look weird to use these textured? I don't know that I have enough. I guess I could interspace it. Oh, decisions. Okay, first of all, I'm just gonna go for it. I mean, this is ridiculous. Why am I? It's not brain surgery, for Pete's sakes. It's stickers. Good grief. Okay, I know I need to commit and glue that down too, and that makes me rough. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna use some washi because I ain't quite ready to commit. So I'm just gonna put it like this for now. Okay. If I go like this, that's gonna, I'm not loving that though. Okay, here's what I decided I was gonna do. I went and got my script washi, which I love. I'm gonna make this picture thinner so it doesn't take up so much room on the page. And then, like to where it's just the house. I basically need to cut off just a little bit here and then on the other side. That's what I'm gonna do, okay. I'm just gonna cut off some of this scenery. And that's a shame because it really is such a pretty illustration. But this is what I need it for, and this stuff is meant to be used, am I right? So if I end up cutting it, then so be it. I could go all the way to the bottom with that. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll go all the way to the bottom. And then I still wanna Do I want around the corners? I at least want around these two corners because that's gonna have washi on it. Are you totally confused? Good, because I am too. I am too. Where did I'm gonna go. I feel like I've done this recently, tearing this washi. I can't remember what it was I did, but I just think it's kind of cool because it's a it's journaling, you know, it's writing. I'm starting there. This was torn, so I'm starting a new place so that then I can tear it. But so I want to keep this edge straight, and then this one I will tear it around just like that. So I'm not gonna do a whole bunch. I want to get it started up here a little bit to get an idea of where I am. Okay. Now. Oh, poo, it's tearing my picture. Don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Okay. Oh, there's my Bearly Art glue, right where I left it in my little utensil cup. I forgot that I moved it out of the drawer and put it over there, so, okay. I got some little wrinkle up there. Oh, that's cute. Okay, golly, it took me forever to come up with that, didn't it? Glory be. Okay. And then, now let's, just to go ahead and get this bridge burned while we're here, I'm gonna go and do the same thing over here. Oh, this is some tight tape. Yeah, and I just tore it. I got it laid down ever so gently over here. And so, you know what I was saying? I thought that I was gonna do, I think I said in the intro it's gonna be a week's worth of journaling. There's no way this is gonna be a week's worth, but that's okay. That just means more spreads to make. So. If you're still watching this video and you haven't subscribed, I'm gonna ask you to go ahead and do that. I don't know what you're waiting for. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, so you too can watch someone with attention issues make journal spreads. Okay, now I don't want to put washi around that because I've already done that. So I think what I'm going to do is use snowflakes. Where did that? Let's just see what this looks like. I was just thinking about edging it with more script. thing about washi tape is if you don't like it, you can just pull it back up. And now let's see, what do I have left? Okay, and I keep forgetting to put it on my videos, but I save the back of every book. Whenever you have these little onesie twosies left over, I just try to put one sticker at least of each spread on there. I think it's fun. I think it's just a little sticker collage of everything that's in your book. And it's a way to use a sticker. Because for some reason, these tend to get lost. And before you know it, you're like, oh, I didn't use that. Okay. There it is. Basically, maybe one. I should put some. You think I should? I'm done. I'm done. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to call it done. Winter's here. There's 1 day, maybe 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, maybe 2 to 4 days, depending on how long-winded you're feeling that day. But there it is. I think it turned out good, and I enjoyed using something new in this little clear deal. So, all right. See you guys on the next one.